Hi, you're feeling better. Uh-huh. Hi, you're feeling better. Oh, yeah. Look at how much better that is. Hi, Karina. How are you doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Hi, Raina. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. How are you doing? How are you doing your theater classes, Raina? Isn't that impossible to do online? Hi, Ruby. Hi, Delina. Hey, Felicity. Hey, Sadrina. If I can figure out this, there we go. Hi, Lizeth. Hi, Chris. So, what are they going to do about your grade and everything, Raina? How are they going to do that? Hi, Kira. We will get all of your questions answered tonight, Kira. I promise. Every single one. When you texted earlier, I was kind of busy, so I just texted back real quick. I hope it wasn't too short or too. I felt like I might have been a little bit rude because I just gave you a quick answer. So I'm sorry if it came off that way. Let's give it another 3 or 4 minutes so that folks can get here, and then we'll start. I get it, Raina. Sort of like me. You know, from this point forward in this class, all of it is lab work. We do stuff in class. It's all activity based. Not a lot of book work. But unfortunately, we're going to have to do book work for the rest of the semester. So I kind of have to reconfigure it too. Yeah, I love the rest of this class. It's really fun. It's pattern recognition for the most part. And so you do lots of cutting and gluing and taping and coloring. It's much more fun, but now it's going to have to be book work. You're still doing your project. But what we'll do is you'll just turn it in to me. Hi, Christopher. So we're still doing the main numeracy project, and you'll just turn in your PowerPoint to me, and I'll grade it. Hi, Chu. Hi, Luis. Yes, you cannot go out, so you have to figure out if your numeracy project required that you go out, then come up with something different. No, project's worth the same. It's 1/3 the grade. Hi, Jackson. No, you change your project, Yunming. You can change your project. If it doesn't work because you can't go out, then you should change it to something you can do from your window. I don't know. I don't have an answer. I know that plenty of people who couldn't do their same numeracy project have already contacted me and said, well, if I can't do this, how about if I do that? And I've said, sure, fine, whatever. So you should come up, and I talked about that a second ago. I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, whatever, last week. That if your project no longer works, you need to find something else that will work. Okay? Gather data somehow else. I'm sorry. I don't have any answer for you. This is a yeah, just run it by me. You don't have to do it formally. Just send me. Good. That's a good question, Sadrina. That's it. That's all you're going to see are the notes. If I turn the camera on myself, the lens will break because that's what happens. My ugly face breaks cameras. So my suggestion is that if your current numeracy project requires that you get out and collect data from people, try to come up with something else that you collect data from. Show you my cat. How do you know I have a cat? All right, let's start. Everybody ready? Here we go. All right, so credit card debt. Let us start with Kira. Kira, what questions did you have? Can you type your question and let's start there? Oh, that's right. Yes, it was running up and down the stairs. So, Kira, you had a question. All right. I'll tell you what. Let me do an example, okay, of how they figure the average daily balance, okay, of your credit card. So this is how if you have a credit, all right, so I'm going to use an example. This is going to take about 15 minutes to do. It's a long, boring process, but I think you'll get the idea when I'm done. Okay? So, let's start here. Okay. And let's say we're going to start on March 1st. Okay? Your credit card balance is $209.46. Okay? Then on March 3rd, okay, you paid $50. So you paid $50 towards your credit card. Okay? On March 12th, oh, I got my days wrong, but I don't care. Oh, there we go. On March 12th, you bought some clothes for $28.46. On March 17th, okay, you went to dinner and it was $31.22. On March 20th, okay, you bought some chocolates for $59.10 because you really like chocolate. Okay? And finally, on March 30th, okay, you bought some auto parts for $112.13. All right? All right. So this was your month. Okay? This was your credit card month. Those were all your purchases. Okay? So our goal is to find the average balance per day. Okay? Because the bottom line is the credit card company, then you are charged 1.3% per month interest. Okay, so we're going to find the average balance, okay, on your credit card, and then the credit card company is going to charge you 1.3% per month. All right? So I just want to stop for a second. If you have 1.3% interest per month, right? In order to find your annual interest, you would multiply it by 12. So that would be 12%. 0.3 times 12 is 3.6. So the interest would be 15.6%, which is actually low. Credit card interest is usually higher than that. Okay? All right. So, step one, make a chart. So, I'm going to give you some advice here. Your test on this chapter, okay, the most time-consuming part of that test will be figuring out the credit card debt. So you will need to know this process. Okay, so go over this so you know how to do it. All right, and here's my chart. Date, balance, forward, transaction, new balance, days, okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Okay? All right. So let's do it. On March 4th, our balance forward was 209.46. Okay? We had no transaction here. This was just our balance forward. So we keep the same balance because we're not making any change. Now, we don't know how many days yet. We don't know how many days that we're going to keep that balance. Okay, so we hold on. Now, if we go back up to our expenditures, the next time we spent money was on March 3rd. Okay, so that's the next change to our credit card bill. On March 3rd, our balance forward is right here. Okay. Our transaction is, we're going to subtract $50. Now, in the other class, they wanted to know about add or subtract. Why add? Why subtract? The bottom line is that when you make a credit card payment, your balance goes lower, right? And so if your balance goes lower, it means that you have subtracted. So when you make a credit card payment, you are subtracting from the balance on the credit card. When you make a purchase, you're adding to that balance. Okay? So 209.46 minus $50, our new balance is 159.46. Now, let's look at our old balance, right? We want to know how many days we had this amount on our credit card. March 1st to March 3rd is 2 days, so that's 2 days. Okay? Our new balance is this, but we don't know how many days we're keeping that balance. So the next time that we do something to our credit card is March 12th. Okay? And we bought some clothes, so our balance forward is this one, 159.46. And we bought some clothes for $28.46. Now let me get my calculator. So we have that's our previous balance. Then we add our transaction, and our new balance is $187.92. Okay. Oops. Now we can look at our previous balance, which was this. 12 minus 3 is 9. So this balance was there for 9 days before we made a change. Okay? Everybody good? Now the next change we made was on March 17th. Okay, our balance forward is 187.92. And we spent 31.22 for dinner. So we're going to add that and we get 218. Let's just add it on the, I'll do it on the calculator for you. So here we have 187.92 plus 31.22. And our new balance is 219.14. Now this balance right here, how long did we carry it? Well, okay, March 12th to March 17th, 17 minus 12 is 5, so we carried that for 5 days. Okay? Now our next thing we did was on March 20th, we bought a bunch of expensive chocolate. Okay? So March 20th, we bought that chocolate for, we carry our balance forward. Then we bought the chocolate for $59.10. So we're adding $59.10 to our credit card debt. So our new balance will be $278.24, and I did that in my head. Now we look at this March 17th. How long did we carry that? Well, 20 minus 17 is 3, so we carried it for 3 days. Good. Our next thing we did was on March 30th. Okay. So we'll put our balance forward. By the way, if you're doing this, if you see me doing this and you're really enjoying this, are you okay, Sadrina? I see your question. If you're really enjoying this, then I think you have a career in accounting. Sadrina, the reason we added is we're adding to the credit card debt. Here, when you make a payment, you subtract from the credit card debt. All right, so it's what's being carried on your credit card. So when I make a purchase, I'm adding that money to my credit card, right? Does that make sense, Sadrina? Give me a yes or no. That's right. If I pay off the credit card, here's what the credit card has on it, right? If I make a payment of $50, then what it has, the money that I owe is less because I paid some of it off. So I subtract that $50 from the credit card total because I made a payment. If I add to the credit card, if I put more money on the credit card, then my credit card total goes up. So I add it. Okay? Good. All right. So here's our new thing. And then what did we do? We bought auto parts for $112.13. Okay, so we're gonna add auto parts $112.13. Oops, yeah. And we're adding that because we're putting it on our credit card. We needed a spinner hubcap. Okay, so so we will have then 278.24. 278.24 plus 112.13, 390.37. Okay, so 30 minus 20 is 10. So we carried this balance for 10 days because 30 minus 20 is 10 days. Now here, April 1st, okay, is the day that the bank is going to put on the interest right here. Okay, that's when the bank is going to put on the interest. So things kind of stop right there. Okay, so we carry this balance then for 1 day. Huh. All right, so we carry that for 1 day. Everybody clear? Do we have any questions about how we filled out the chart? Yeah, Felicity, 390.37. We good? Does anybody have any questions right now? Give me a yes or a no. No questions? Yes questions. Are we clear about how I filled out the chart before I move forward? Because we're going to move on to the next step now. Good. Excellent. Step 2. Okay. Step 2 is we're going to figure out the average balance per day. All right. So now to figure out the average balance per day, I do this column. The balance right here times the number of days. Okay. And I'll tell you what, I'll encourage you to do it with me. I'm not going to talk through it because you don't need to hear me say all those words. I'm just going to do it on my calculator. But I'm going to ask you all to do it also. Double check my calculations. My phone is getting sticky, so the screen isn't working so well lately. So I don't want to make a mistake. Okay. So if y'all could get out your calculators and do this for me, then we can double check. Okay. Is that what other people got? Are we good? So now what I'm doing is I'm going to add all of those numbers because I'm going to find an average. And you all remember to find an average, you add everything up and you divide by the number of numbers. Okay. So essentially what I have is 2 days plus 9 days plus 5 days plus 3 days plus 10 days plus 1 day plus one more day up here. So essentially I have 31 days. Oh, you know what? I made a mistake. That needs to be 2 days because it's 1 day. I'm wrong. Okay. We're going to the 31st. So we have 31 days. All right. So now I'm going to add all, remember to find an average, you add everything and you divide by the number of items you have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all those up. 390.37 plus 278.240 plus 657.42 plus 939.60 plus 1435.14 plus 418. So the total I got number of days. Okay, so I'm going to divide it by the number of days. And what I get is that my average balance was that I had an average of $213.67 in my account during that period. Okay. So now 3, figure the interest at 1.3%. And that's easy. I multiply that number times 0.013. They do include April 1st. Yeah, in the book, Christopher, in the book, they set up they make the day of payment be April 2nd. So I just make the day of payment be April 1st. It's just the number of days in the month. Lizeth, it's the number of days in the month. So in March, we have 31 days. That's all. So we multiply by the percent, 0.013, and we get $2.78 interest. All right? So now step 4. Step 4. I want you to add the interest to principal and start the new month. Okay? So right here, our balance right here was $390.37. So it'd be $390.37. Then we'll add our interest, $2.78. Okay? 392, 393.15. So now that is your new balance to start the next month. Okay? That's the process. Do y'all have any questions about that process? Anybody? On step 3, I multiplied 1.3% times our average balance. So it's 0.013. Like that. Okay? All right. Lizeth, is that clear? Questions, or do you have other questions from other parts of? Let's do them. Kira, do you have another question? Anybody else? Good. All right. Carol wants to know, how do we do number 2? So, number 2. All right. She purchased appliances that cost $34.50. Okay. At 8% add-on interest. Okay. She put $500 as her down payment. She's going to pay it off over 2 years. All right, so there's our information. Okay, so step 1. Step 1, subtract the down payment. Okay, because down payment is just the cash you're going to give them. So we have $34.50 minus 500 is $29.50. That's the loan amount. Okay. Step 2, figure the interest. And there's our formula. Okay. So interest equals $29.50 times 8% times 2 years. Okay. $472. That's step 2. Step 3. Oops. It's $34.22. All right. Step 4. Divide by the number of months. So we know we have to pay off $3,422, and we're going to do it in 2 years. 2 years is 24 months, right? 24 months. And so our answer is $142.58. Okay, so this is your monthly payment. Good. And then 5 for the total cost of the appliances. Okay, so the appliances were $3,400.50. This is the principal plus the interest, $472, equals $39.22. So this is the total cost of the appliances that you bought. And I think I did 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 there. Is that good, everybody? Give me a thumbs up, a yes, a K, an okay, doing well, something like that, so I know where we are. Kira, does that make sense? Very good. So in the problem, Sadrina, Kira, are we good? All right, Sadrina, you wanted to know why down payment. I'll write the words out. You made a down payment of $500. That means you paid $500 in cash towards your appliances. Then you took the rest as a loan. By the way, in general, the interest rate will vary depending upon how much down payment you put on. The more down payment you put on, the lower your interest rate, usually. The less the down payment, the higher the interest rate. And the reason is that they figure that the more you have skin in the game, the more that you've put your own money into the purchase, the more motivated you are not to lose your money. Whereas if you don't put any money into the purchase, then you don't care if it goes away. That's the theory. That's what they believe. So the higher your down payment, the lower your interest rate, generally. Okay, how about you all do this exact same thing for me right now? Let's do, you do, you, here's what I want you to do. You're going to buy a, oh, what's expensive but not too expensive? A motorcycle. Okay, I have no idea how much motorcycles cost. But I'm going to just make something up. You're going to buy a motorcycle for $13,485.19. Okay. Your down payment is $2,500. The rate is 6.25%. Okay, and you're going to pay it off 3 years. Okay? And what I want you to do is do one, cost of loan, 2, interest, 3, monthly payment, and 4, total cost of the motorcycle. Okay, so you guys go ahead and do that. All right, and then I'll give you a couple of minutes. Go ahead and do that. And when you're done, just type in done. Okay, so let's give everybody the chance to do it. All right, so begin. How are we doing? Let me know when you're done. We still going? Good. Christopher, were you done first because it was a motorcycle? You were highly motivated to finish? How's your arm, by the way? Well, that's good. That's really good. So you can move it around now somewhat. Probably a while before you go bowling, though, huh? Good, Karina. Very good. Somehow I feel like while you're working on these, I should be playing music from Jeopardy or something. We lost another person. Okay. We'll do attendance again at the end of the call or at the end of the video. We lost two people. All right. Are we ready? So, number one, we're going to find the cost of the loan. All right. And that'll be okay. If you get the same answer that I got, give me a thumbs up or a yes or correct on number one or something like that, so I know you're with me. I want to kind of get an idea of how we're doing. Okay, is that what people got? Good. Good, 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 good. Excellent, excellent. Karina, is that what you got? Excellent. All right, number two. Idalina, have we lost you? Who else have we lost? God, people are dropping. Oh, you're here. Okay, good. Good. We had 15 a second ago, and now we have 11. So, excellent. Okay, let's do number two. Interest. Okay, so we have 10,985.19 times 0.0625. There's the interest times 3. All right. And let's do that. I'm going to do it off over here. 10985.19 times 0.0625 times 3. So the interest is 2059.72. Okay. Is that what we got, everybody? Hey, Felicity. Yep. Is that what everybody got? Okay. Now the monthly payment. The loan was for 3 years, which is 36 months. So we take $10,985.19. We add $2,059.72, and we get 91,443, 13,044.91. Okay. And then we divide that by 36 months. Okay, so this is the total we need to pay back. That's interest plus principal. And this is the months. And we get, hold on, let me do it. 10. Sorry about that. 2059. Okay. So our monthly payment is $362.36. Okay. Is that what folks got? Give me another yes for that. Good, good. Excellent. So you all got this. That's great. That looks really good. Does anybody have any questions about these steps? And finally, the thing is the total cost of the bike. The original cost was $13,485.19. All right. The interest was $2,059.72. So the total cost of the bike is $15,500 and oops, my bad. So the total cost of the bike was $15,544.91 when you added up everything together. All right, that's it. Do you all have any other questions? I'm going to give you a chance. Let me know if you have any questions, if there's something that's not clear, because I'm going to actually pre-teach the next section a little bit, because the next section is tricky. And it's not tricky because it's hard. It's actually really easy. It's tricky because the book is badly written in the next section. And yep, every class is always frustrated by the next section because they just don't explain what they're doing. They assume all kinds of knowledge. And believe me, I had to put in hours trying to figure out what in the world they were talking about. All right, so give me your attention for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go on to the next section and kind of show you what's up. And then if you have no other questions, then what I would do is, if it were a normal class, I'd say, okay, get to work. And folks would have a half an hour or so, 40 minutes or so to work. So let me give you a preview of the next section, because otherwise, I promise you will not understand what's going on. All right, so here's the book. There is this chart right here. All right, so I'm just going to put it in words for you. The next section is about this. Let's say you take out a loan, right? And then you decide to pay it off early. Well, if you do pay off your loan early, you don't have to pay the interest. You only have to pay interest for every month that you use it. So at the beginning of the loan, like we've done all the way through, you figure out the interest over the life of the loan. But what happens if you pay off the loan early? Well, you don't have to pay that extra interest. So the idea is you have to figure out, the bank has to figure out, or whoever's loaning money to you has to figure out what interest you don't have to pay, right? And it's a little bit tricky. So they give you this chart, okay? And this is the chart of annual percentage rate. So here is the problem. If you have your credit card, the credit card could tell you that could give you a monthly interest rate. If you get another loan, you could get an interest rate for half a year. So interest rates came in all different styles and shapes and sizes. So what they did was that they came up with one number that was the annual percentage rate. In other words, if you kept that loan for 5 years, what would you actually pay in interest if you paid that off within 1 year? What would your actual interest rate be? Okay? So they needed to have some standard so they could compare all loans. And so what they did was they just said, let's pretend that loan was in 1 year. What would that interest rate be? All right, so here's a couple of tricks I want to point out. There is a variable right here, H. Do you see that little H right there? These numbers here are H, okay? And they change based on how many months the loan is, okay? And what the interest rate you pay is. Okay, so the interest rate you might pay on the loan and how many months you would keep the loan, that gives you a variable that's H. It has no meaning. It's just a variable that you're going to use in another formula. Okay? So I'm going to point out example 1 right here. So in example 1, you're trying to find the APR. You're trying to find that right here. Okay? So you have a loan and you're going to pay it off in 2 years. So you need to convert this 7% at 2 years to what your interest rate would be if you paid it off, if you paid the whole thing in 1 year. Okay? So they give you the process right here, and it's a little tricky. So you take the amount of money you spend and you subtract the down payment, just like we did. Okay? Then you find the interest rate. Okay, just like we've done. Every bit up to here you've done. This is what you've done the whole time. Now you got to go to the next part. So the next part is you take your interest, this 602, and you divide it by the principal. Okay. And it's the principal that you're paying off, not the big principal, because this principal right here, that's how much it costs, but you're going to pay off some down payments. So there's your principal. You divide that by the principal and you multiply it times 100. And then you get a number. And it's $14. All right. So now we go. So we want to know what our interest rate in 1 year would be. So what we do is we go up to the chart. Okay. And that loan was going to be paid off in 2 years. There it is right there, the 24 months. And you go over down the chart until you get to $14 or close to $14, which is right there. Then you go up and you paid 13% interest. So your annual percentage rate will be 13%. All right? Let me walk you through it one more time. You subtract the down payment, you figure out the interest. You divide the interest by the loan amount. Okay? And you multiply times 100 and you get $14. Then you go to your chart. Your loan was 2 years. So you go to 24 months and you go until you find $14, which is right there. And then this right here will tell you your annual percentage rate. Clear? That's none of that they explain to you. They just do it. All right. Then you're going to use that back here. And then this is really the rest of the chapter. There are other things that you're going to have to do in other places. But right here, this is the main thing. What am I doing? Sorry, I'm not on the screen. This is the main thing. When you figure out your unearned interest, okay, once you find H, okay, H is interest divided by principal. Let me write that down. Please put it in your notes. H okay, H is interest divided by principal. All right. So in this box right here, with this formula, which is the main formula you're going to use for the chapter right here. Okay, that's the main formula for the chapter. The other things are given to you in the problem. H you're going to have to find. So you'll have to figure out the interest, divide it by the principal, and that'll give you H. And then you can find how much interest you'll get paid back. Okay. Do you have any questions about that process there? There's some other things you have to do. So there's a payoff amount. That's easy. There's another way to find out the unearned interest right here, but I'm not that concerned about it because it's not very accurate. And then there's another way to figure out the finance charge for every $100 financed. And this is all pretty straightforward. Okay? So the other things are pretty straightforward, but not that first part. Do we have any questions about what I just showed you? Read the book, try out the problems. I think I gave you all the extra information that they didn't tell you. So you should be pretty clear. Any questions? All right. I would like you to do one more thing for me, please. I would like you to just, let me see, I got you, let me see. Karina, Idolina, Chris, Raina, Karina, Idolina, Chris, Raina. So if you're still here, just say I'm here. I'm going to take attendance again because we lost 3 people. So I wanted to know who we lost long ago. So who else is here? Just check in, please. Felicity. Good. Who else? This is for attendance. Kira. Good. Who else is here? I got you, Idolina. Kira, Chris, Lizeth. Who else is here? Sadrina, Yunmeng, Jackson, Chris. Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Cool. That's everybody. Thank you. I think we lost Luis there. Luis, are you still here? All right. Good. Well, thank you all. If you have any questions whatsoever, please do text me, and I'll get back to you with whatever help you might need. This next section is tricky. Okay, so feel free to text me. Remember, when you text me, tell me your name, and then send me a picture of the problem in the book so I know which problem you're dealing with. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to end the video. Is everybody good? The classwork, just hold all of it, Kira. Did you have a question from the classwork in 13.1? Or about the classwork? Excellent. You all have a really good weekend, and we'll talk to you on Monday. You're welcome to go if you're ready to go. So what's your question then, Kira? Okay, Kira, which problems? Give me the problems so I can start. Thank you. Wait. What do we need, Idalina? Oh, spring break is next week. So I'm sorry, I'll see you in a week from Monday. Number 49. Cool. Got it. Yeah, it is next week. It's next week. So I'll see you all actually in a little over a week, okay? Excellent. That was my bad. I thought about it ahead of time, like to make sure not to say that I'll see you on Monday. And I just spaced out. So all right. Anybody else? Okay, Kira, you ready? I'll do the problem with you. Okay? Holy moly. Well, which one do you want to start with, Kira? You give me the first one. Which one do you want to start with, Kira? Okay. Here we go. The question is this. Okay. So we're looking for the maximum amount she can borrow. Okay. I'm going to get my other pen. Hold on. It'll show up better on this paper. We're looking for the maximum amount she can borrow. 1, she has to pay it back in 4 months. Oops, my bad. Number 2, these are the rules, okay? Number 2, it's 8% interest. And number 3, she can only pay back $1,500. That's all the money she can pay. Okay? All right. So the principal plus the interest must equal $1,500. All right. 4 months equals 1/3 of a year. Okay. Yes, Felicity, this is for 13.1. Okay. So we have a formula that looks like this. Okay. The principal times 1 plus RT equals the total amount. So we have this. We don't know the principal. Okay. 1 plus 0.08 times 1/3 equals 1,500. Kira, give me a yes. Does that make sense what I'm doing? Yes or no? Good. All right. So then we have principal equals 1,500 divided by, I'm going to do that right now. Okay. That's when I divide those two, this is what I get. And our answer is, okay, does that make sense, Kira? Help me out, Kira. Are we good? Awesome. Let's do 49. How long to double your money in an account, 4% interest, compounded quarterly? Okay. Don't we have isn't there a formula for doubling your money back here? No, there isn't. Okay. So let's go to our formula. Oh, got it. Do we have the same addition, you and I, Kira? Okay. Let's do 49. So how long is it to double your money in an account? So what we rate over number of compoundings. Oh, this is a tricky problem. I remember this. I meant to take it off the list. Did you do, Kira, did you do math 120? Okay. So this is tricky. You ready? And it requires using logs. So let's put in our numbers. Okay. Um, so we should have principal. Hmm. I remember this problem from last semester. It was tricky and it took me a few times, so have some patience. So we have principal times. Oh, got it. No, it's actually not tricky. I got it. Are you with me? Give me a and let's just give me a yes, I'm with you sort of thing. We don't know the principal. Okay. We do know the interest rate and it's compounded quarterly, and we don't know the time. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide both sides by p. Those cancel, that cancels. Right? So then I have this. Okay? Now, I'm going to take the log. Oh, sorry about that. And now is where you have to use your Math 120 logs. So now I'm going to take the log of both sides. And I get this. Okay? Now, using one of the rules of logarithms, I can put this in front of this. So I can move the exponent to the front. It's the exponential rule of logs. So I have this 4t times log of 1.01 equals log 2. 4t equals, okay, divide by 4, 4, and we have t equals, all right? Are we good? Okay, now we get out the calculator. Okay. So we're going to do the denominator first. So we do 1.01 log times 4 equals, and I'm going to put that in, I'm going to put that in memory. Okay? Right? Then I'm going to do 2 log, and I'm going to divide it by memory recall, and I get that. And that's wrong. Now I'm thinking. That should be right. Let me do it again in the calculator. Okay. Hmm. All right, I'm gonna have to think about this one. That should work. I remember doing this last year and it worked. Um, hmm, hmm, hmm. Let's go on to the next one while I think about this one. 53 part A. Ugh, you know what? I'm wrong. Let's go back. Sorry, I figured it out. I'm not wrong. It's just the book has a different thing. And I'm actually okay. Let's look at it. Here's the formula they give you in the book. Is and that means approximately. So it's 70 over the annual inflation rate. Um, um, hold on. So I think we have this chart in the book, okay, that has the annual inflation rate right here. You know what? Let us let that go. I have to think on it, and I'm not going to waste any of your time. It's not 51. The answer is 17 years and some days. And it has to do with inflation rate. I think it's as simple as this. I think it is as simple as this. Let me do it in my calculator before I make a statement. Before I make a statement. You know what? We're going to let that go. Just let the problem go. I'll take it off next year's list. I'm going to do that myself. I need to figure that out. 51, part A. 51 doesn't have an A or a B. It just has an A. It just has one. Oh, 51. Okay, so the effective annual yield formula is this. Let me check something here. Okay, so there's the formula, and they're just asking you to solve. They want you to solve for R. Okay, so we want to get R alone. So the first thing we would do is do y plus 1 equals let's follow it through. So what I would do is take the nth root of both. Okay, so I have the nth root of y plus 1 equals 1 plus r over m. Okay, so then I would, let me see. So I would have the nth root of y plus 1 minus 1, okay, times m equals r. And that would be my answer. I think the book writes it like this. Like that. It's just algebra. It's fancy algebra. Okay. Kira, are we good? Are we good, Kira? It's just fancy algebra. Nothing more than that. 53. Um, I would just let 53 go. It's not going to be on the test or anything like it, and they're just playing around at that point. Okay. And honestly, let 63 go too. I'm not that worried about it. It won't be on the test. These are things I'm not that worried about. I hope you didn't spend too much time. 63, same thing. So if let's look at it. A meal. All right. And then so we're looking at what year? So we want to look at 2015. Wait a second. So 2% inflation. Inflation. Let me do it on my thing first. Make sure I didn't make a mistake. Yeah, that's wrong. Give me a second there, Kara. Okay. So inflation proportion. Okay. And it's the price in year A over the price in year B equals CPI in A over CPI in B. Okay. All right. So hold on a second. Let me look at this. Let me do it one more time. Let me try something here. I honestly don't know, to be perfectly straight up. Let me look. I honestly don't know. So you probably have as much. I mean, it's got to be in the book somewhere. I'd have to think it through, and I will think it through and get back to you. All right? But honestly, I have no idea how that works. Um, hmm. Oh, and it's not going to be on the test. No, no, no. All right? So you don't need to worry about it. But I am I mean, I'm not worried, but I don't know how they did that. So I'm gonna mess with it for a while right now. See if I can figure it out. Mostly, I'm more concerned with 49. I don't know how they did that, so I'm gonna try and figure that out. Anyway, it's not gonna be on the test. You don't need to worry. Not at all. Okay. All right. That is true. This chapter has a lot of calculations on your calculator, Yunmei. All right. No problem. No problem. I'm going to end the stream now and I'm going to figure these things out. All right. All right. You guys have a really good spring break and we'll talk to you in about 10 days. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to text me. Okay. Okay. Have a good night. Have a good break. Bye bye.